back to Tirmal classes. So guys, today we are heading up to the topic called Buddhist monuments at Sanchi. So why this topic is relevant to our subject? Because it is one of the World UNESCO Heritage Site in 1989. So the word itself, the name itself indicates that Buddhist means it has the relevance to Buddhism. Let me give you a glimpse of Buddhism. Buddhism is one such major world religion and philosophy which was originated in India around 6th century BC by the preachings of Siddhartha, who is known as Gautama Buddha. Through his preachings, enlightenment and the path of principles like meditation and mindfulness. So if we see, Buddhist monks were present everywhere across the country and across the world. If we see like Southeast Asian regions or northeast of India and China, Tibet, there were Buddhist monks. Still they follow the principles of Buddha Dhamma and Sangama and also the peace. These are the main principles and objectives of Buddhism. And what is the importance of this Buddhist monuments at Sanchi? What is the history behind it? Who built it? These were the questions which have to come in our mind while we are heading up to this topic, right? So let me give you features of it. This is our India map, like roughly, and here it is Madhya Pradesh. In the Madhya Pradesh, Raisen district, there is a place called Sanchi where this Buddhist monuments were present. Monuments means it is a clump of all monasteries, viharas, chaitras, temples. This all combinedly called as monuments, and it was built by, you all know, the great Mauryan emperor King Ashoka. What is the relation between King Ashoka and Buddhism? Yeah, you all know the great war of Kalinga war. It is happened in the banks of river Daya, where it is in Odisha. We all know like Mauryan empire was occupied across India, but there is some independent kingdoms. Like Kalinga is one such kingdom where Kalinga was ruled by the independent king, and the war against him was done by Ashoka. And like aftermath or postbellum of this war, King Ashoka was devastated by the bloodshed of numerous military people. So after this war, he concluded that I have to choose a path of peace over chaos, over war. So he followed a policy called Vijaya Dharma, which is victorious dharma in military conquest. Likewise, he followed Buddhism with the influence of his spiritual guru Upagupta. Upagupta was his spiritual guru, and he is the one who influenced Ashoka, and Ashoka followed Buddhism. Likewise, the ardent devotion towards Buddhism, Ashoka built various Buddhist monuments and like Buddhist sites. One among it is Buddhist monuments at Sanchi, right? Yeah. Now, these Buddhist monuments, like Ashoka had even sent his daughter and son Sangamitra and Mahendra to Ceylon. At present, it is known as Sri Lanka, to spread Buddhism. And also some of his court members and his disciples also, Southeast Asia and Northeast India, to spread Buddhism. Likewise, the relation between Ashoka and Buddhism has come like this. And at the same time, there are 4 Buddhist councils. One among is the 3rd Buddhist council was organized by King Ashoka, patronized by Maggaliputta Tissa. And now we are we'll go to the structure of stupa. Like whenever we are going to the depiction of structure of stupa, we should also look into the structure of temple as well, because we have to interlink this subject with various streams. Then only we will have whole grip on subject. Likewise, if we take the structure of stupa, so guys, this is the structure of stupa. Here, these 4 are called as toranas. This hemisphere brick structure is known as dome, which is known as anda. And this is harmika. This combinedly called as chatras. And one among is like this, it is called as yasti. This is structure of stupa, and when we go to the structure of temple, so it is temple. This is known as the entry part. The entrance is known as garbhagriha. This is known as gopuras. This is shikaras. Likewise, whenever we are going to the art and architecture of a particular temple or stupa, we have to interlink it with other subjects, other notions also, and it shows us the enduring spiritual brilliance and heritage of a country. And also there stupas. There are 4 types of stupas, like religious stupas, symbolic stupas, commemorational stupas, and also object stupas. Likewise, these stupas were built on the relics of Buddha. Relics are nothing but the remains or things which was used by Buddha, or the things which are present with Buddhas, like his disciples also. Like that, on the basis of relics, these stupas will be built. So it is recognized in the World Heritage Site in 1989. So what is the importance if a place is recognized by UNESCO World Heritage Site? Yes, it is very important because there will be an international global visibility to that particular place, and there will be a funding assistance. There will be a economical tourism, like tourism will emerge into the economic aspect also. So there will be more advantages if a place is recognized by UNESCO World Heritage Site, and these all will bring that this is a testament of India's enduring spiritual brilliance and cultural rich heritage of the country. So we have to keep an eye on Buddhism and the art and architecture, as Jainism as well, because these two are the religions which were emerged in the 6th century BC. So we have to keep eye on it. Thank you.